Kris, what can you tell us about Zach?
Zach's season's most likely done. He's getting surgery today, and it'll be a while, so we're not expecting him back for the playoffs.
Is it a wrist, a shoulder?
It's his, I'll just leave it upper body, yes.
Okay. You've withstood a lot of injuries. What stood out to this group what's stood out to you about this group and how you've been able to do that through the season?
My time here, we've been pretty fortunate with the injuries, especially last year. Last year, we hardly had anything. And then this year, for the first 3 quarters of the season, there was minimal time off for guys. And then it really piled up at the end of the season. Not only, with numerous guys, key guys, McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, just to name a few, Hyman. And now, playoffs, there's going to be times when guys are banged up, and that's part of the game. And right now we're missing some guys that are unavailable to play. Obviously, Zach's going to be a huge hole, but we're fortunate to have a lot of depth that guys can come in and step up and give us quality minutes.
And just on a personal note, just seeing Zach going down like that, what are you feeling for a guy who's so important to the team, but also just so popular in the room and in the group?
Yeah, he's put everything out there. You look at what he's done last 2 years in the playoffs. Last year, throughout the season, he scored about 70 goals and numerous big, important goals in the playoffs. And this year, scoring key goals, but the physical department, how many hits he had, and his two-way play was tremendous. And, now that we're going to be missing him, we're going to need other guys to step up.
Yep, we'll go to Paige on the right.
Kris, do you have any update on Connor Brown?
Connor Brown won't be playing next game, but he's doing well, and we hope that he can come in shortly after that. You
mentioned this team's depth and different players' ability to step up. What did you think of Victor Arvidsson stepping back into the lineup last night?
I think he did really well. He hadn't been played for a couple of weeks, and to come in at a environment like that against a good team at this point of the season. And then he just continued to get better. And in fact, in the third period, he might have been one of our best forwards. He had quality shots. He had won a lot of puck races, made some nice plays. So Victor's game was kind of what I expected. He played the way we want him to play. And we'll need more of that from Victor because, with missing guys, especially on the right side with Hyman, that's an opportunity for him to step up and play a more significant role.
Leon Draisaitl said last night that Game 5 is going to be the toughest game for you guys to be able to win to close out the series. You guys were in this position against Vegas just recently. So how confident are you in this team's ability to close out the series?
Well, we've had a good record when we've been in those situations. I think I'm confident with our guys just being mature, their experience. They don't get too high or too low. It's not that they would ever think that we've got this under wraps. That is definitely never the case with this team. They know how hard it is to win that last deciding game, and they also have a lot of respect for the Dallas Stars, knowing that they're a good team who can certainly turn it up. They turned around a series in the first round against Colorado, but going back to our team, I think we're just even-keeled. We don't get too high, too low, and we know how important that next game is.
Left side in the back, Kristen.
Leon said yesterday he thought that the depth that this team has now is the best that it's been since he's been here. I wonder, do you feel like this is a team that's built differently even than the one that reached the Cup final last year?
I would say last year we were very fortunate to have the depth that we had. And this year we would be equal to or stronger than that. We got, you just look at last night's roster, Brown was hurt. We got Jeff Skinner that's available that hasn't played very much. Is a really good hockey player. Derek Ryan's not playing. Last year he was in almost all the playoff games this year. So, I thought we were very fortunate to have the depth that we had last year, and this year we're probably a little step above that.
I know some coaches buy into momentum in a series, others see it as just one game is its own singular thing. Which camp are you? Do you see momentum at this point, or is it just a separate
I think
thing?
momentum ends as soon as the game's done. It's a new game, so no matter what happens, whether it's a heartbreaking loss, an OT win, or a blowout, I think it's just it gets reset. I don't think that momentum carries from game to game.
Take a couple more. Second row on the left.
Kris, you guys managed to steal home ice advantage with that win in Dallas and hang on to it with back-to-back wins at home. How much has that been a factor in this series, do you think?
I think all year we've been a pretty good team on the road, and our home record to our away record is almost identical. And we talked about those last few games, in April, that we were missing some guys, significant guys, and our record probably wasn't going to be what we anticipated it to be. And losing a few more games was probably going to cost us home ice advantage. But we weren't really pushing to get guys back in the lineup that much because we felt that we can win on the road. It's not that much of an advantage for us, we felt. So, we at the end of the season, we could have probably pushed some guys to get in there earlier and maybe won an extra game or two. I think the big picture was we wanted guys healthy for the long playoff run. So maybe we sacrificed a win or two, maybe gave up home ice advantage. I don't know. But I think a lot of it was just having confidence, being able to win on the road. And, as well as we play on the road, there's certainly we'd rather play at home. We do feel good playing at Rogers, just the atmosphere from the fans, and it's just a different feeling. But, I think we're confident playing on the road or at home just with the way our team is built.
Have you ever noticed, is it an advantage that is quantifiable at all in the stat sheet in the playoffs when you're at home? Do you notice?
No, I don't know what the numbers say. I'm certain I would think most teams would say I feel better wanting that home ice advantage. Probably the best way to look at that is the expectations of winning a Game 7, because that's where that home ice really would come down to.
Last thing for me, just given the way things are shaping up out in the East as well, is there concern at all that, these players might be caught looking too far ahead?
I don't even know what's going on in the East. I know we've got a heck of a series here against Dallas, and we have one more win to get to. If we're fortunate to get that last win, then we'll be preparing for that next team. But right now, all our attention is on the Dallas Stars.
We'll finish up with Josh.
Yeah, just your team as a group has had your back against the wall in the past. How does that experience of knowing what they're going through in the other room, that desperation, help you prepare for a game like tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I think that, when your back's against the wall, we saw it several times last year, and it brought out the best of our team, playing with a lot of desperation, focus, and just laying it on the line every single shift. It's important for us. We can't control what the other team's going to do. What we can control is how we play and how we handle those circumstances. And we'll know Dallas will come out with a lot of urgency and playing at home and the atmosphere that they have there, that we're going to have to be prepared. Certainly, we can't have a start like we did last night. We're very fortunate to survive that and come out of the first period with the lead. But if we play another first period like that, we're probably playing down and pretty tough to overcome that. So we're going to have to make sure that we're ready from the start.